Hey guys, Frozen Stack here, and welcome to a mod preview for Lucium Expanded Bolivars Revolution. This mod is set in 1819 in South America, and at a time when a lot of the powers in the great powers such as Spain and Portugal are losing control of their colonies. And many big nations, and many small nations of theirs are rebelling and forging a path in history. So you have the Spanish Empire, which are considered probably the hardest campaign in the mod. There's also a campaign that I've currently been playing for a series, or a playtest where I've already played as them. It's in the playtest, so you would have already seen 2 episodes of that. We have the Portuguese Empire, which is probably the second hardest faction. It is difficult because Spain and Portugal are both quite difficult nations, so it's hard to decide which is hardest, really. You have the British West Indies. You have the Dutch Empire. As you can see, they each have their best tier units on the side, or their unique units, I should say. You have the French Empire. You have Gran Colombia, which is the settlement that Bolivar, well, not settlement, sorry, the faction that Bolivar is in, who is obviously the namesake of the mod. You have the Brazilian Empire. You have the Republic of La Plata, the Republic of Paraguay, the Liga Federal, the Republic of Chile, and the Mapuche, which I would probably say the third hardest nation in the game, considering they are natives versus the modernized world of Europe and all that. So yeah, let's begin. Now, I will be viewing this in the hot seat mode, and the reason being is because there is a black fog of war in some places, and they're in spots that we don't want anyone else to see, and it's for you to explore yourselves. So, now we have also made a revamp of our quotes, and made sure we have proper quotes that represent areas in America. Obviously, there are not that many quotes we could find for South America, so some of them are some of them are from North America. And we've also used some from explorers who have also explored parts of South America and North America as well, even some explorers that have explored further than that as well. Now, we have done models for our ships, as you will recognise from the Europe version of Lucium. We have 2 sets of ships, probably some more tiers, I believe. Got a Wharf Frigate, a Sand Brig. It is possible that there may not be any other tiers of ships. I'm not too sure, you will have to find out for yourselves. Now, we have Diplomats. As you can see, are actually known as envoys instead of explorers. You have the same model from the Americas Kingdoms expansion, which we figured was perfect for this. We did think it looked a little bit 1600 perhaps, but we felt it's probably the best we could find, really. Now, we have given models for each custom general. Not custom general, each unit, and if general has his own, the captain will have his own as well. Some of them are quite different for each faction. We have quite a few different units. We have the colonial garrison, we have farm militia, light lancers, and they are all varies of tiers and all loads of tiers to get. Obviously, this is around the colonial garrison is about mid tier really for troops. The general as well is going to have his own bodyguard unit, British Staff Cavalry. Each bodyguard will have their own unique cavalry, apart from the European and Latin American ones are the same, except they're just named differently. Now, looking at the generals, we have changed chivalry and dread to something else. Anti-slavery is now chivalry, and dread is now pro-slavery. We felt this made more sense than chivalry and dread, which sounds it feels more medieval than 18th to 19th century. That's what we've done there. We've also given them a retinue, or ancillary, which improves, goes to any faction leader. They will have +5 authority, which is to stop the whole, which obviously it makes sense for them to have more authority, because they are the faction leader of the thing. Another thing, we've changed piety to influence, as piety holds virtually nothing nowadays. Well, not say nowadays, in the 1800s. We've also got 3 different cultures instead of religions. You will have European, Native American, and Latin American. European obviously goes to the Dutch, French, British, Portuguese, and Spain. Latin American will obviously have their own. Latin American countries will have their own culture, and the Mapuche will have their own. Which, as you can see by the black thing here, which is obviously not impassable, but it's stuff for you to explore in your own time. There's also some down here as well. So, moving over to the general.
Hail, my king.
So he's got ancillary. Now, another thing, we have taken out the family trees. There's no family trees for the European and Latin American powers. The only faction will have a family tree is the Mapuche, as they are more they're more a group of family than a faction that is just essentially governors, because obviously we have governors in charge instead of like obviously kings and stuff, because obviously the British empires and French empires and all that would have just given governors control over South America and their colonies. So got Puerto de España. So the British only have start off with 2 regions, as you might expect. They're not going to didn't hold too many provinces in South America anyway. So yeah, that's the British Empire. Now, moving down south, we have the Liga Federal, which is one of the other Latin American nations down in this area, on the Plata area, I would say. So 3 nations there. Now, instead of colonial garrison, they're going to have it's going to be called volunteer infantry. Obviously, colonial garrison doesn't make any sense for factions that aren't like any Latin American nations. You got the cannons as well. Now, the highest tier of cannons is the 24-pounder cannon, which is very powerful. But a 12-pounder cannon is sort of a mid-tier, I'd say. The earliest tier is probably the makeshift cannon as well.
Yes.
Also, another thing is the music as well, which we found suits the content so well. I really do enjoy it. And it's something I've been quite enjoyed when I've been playing Lucium Bolivars so far. So yeah, that is the Liga Federal. Not too much I can show you for each nation. Now, obviously, showing it in toggle in the hot seat mode takes a little longer. However, in this event, it's the easiest way. The best way I can do it without spoiling what's in the rainforest or down here. So, moving on. Okay, welcome to the Mapuche. Now, you will recognise the America's music for the Mapuche. Obviously, they are a native faction, so this makes sense. Now, the Mapuche will have missionaries as well. We felt this was made more sense than like priests or something. Pretty sure they were priests anyway, so it's more the same. But that's instead of we could have called them teachers. We have also called them priests for other countries teachers instead of priests, because obviously religion is non-existent here, as we have cultures instead. Now the Mapuche will have a family tree. The Mapuche are actually a confederation. They're not really like an empire or a kingdom. They're a confederation of tribes, and they have the Great Commander, which is sort of in charge of protecting everyone, who has quite a large family tree, while the guy in the background just shouts about something in the background. So down here you will have the primitive tribes, which instead of rebels. I did feel the primitive tribes are a lot better than just the normal rebel factions, and obviously gives a bit more uniqueness to the rebels instead of just boring grey rebels. So yeah, obviously their units have got native tribesmen as well. That's quite cool. Got the Mapuche Scouts, the Youth Hunters, Experienced Bowmen. So quite a cool different units with their own bodyguard. Obviously their bodyguard aren't going to be mounted at all. There are some mounted units for the Mapuche, so that's something you'll eventually get at some point. Now, another thing is I will show you is direct control and self-governing. Direct control sort of assists your military a bit more, and obviously is directly controlled by the government of the faction. Self-governing actually increases your public order, and obviously makes it more autonomous region rather than just completely controlled by the Lord or something. Would it be Lord? Probably not. Another thing we have, and I forgot to show you with the other factions, is that we have each new buildings. So you've got the large town upgrade, which is obviously this picture here. Got the Raiders Lodge, the small shrine, local council, and the cleared underground path. So make sure to show this for the other factions as well. So I do apologize if I kind of missed it out a bit. So yes, that is pretty much mostly it for the Mapuche. I hope you guys like these factions. It's quite a nice little faction, and it's quite difficult when you're up against the powers. Obviously, the Mapuche will have gun units, Obviously, we need that sort of for balancing reasons, obviously. So yeah, their highest unit is the 12-pounder cannon, which is they can actually, it's called the stolen 12-pounder cannon, instead of just be able to make a cannon, because obviously the Mapuche and native factions would have literally brought or taken them from the European factions. Okay, you have France. Now, France buildings, obviously got a large town, local marketplace, naval base, and there's plenty more for you to explore as you go in. Now you have Governor Pierre. The colours of the colonial garrison are going to be a bit different for each, not every faction. I think most factions will have different coloured colonial garrisons. So you have to see as you play. So yeah, that's it. France is not too much I can show you for them, but that is the French. Okay, welcome to Gran Colombia. Now Gran Colombia hosts Bolivar himself, who is the obviously namesake of the mod. You got President Bolivar. He's obviously quite the decent commander. Got a lot of good authority, a lot of good chivalry, I guess. So yeah, it's quite good. It's got extra movement points as well, and gives the army the ability to force march, which is quite cool, and a 10% discount as well. Now each unit will have, if you select all of them, yeah, some units have a bit more movement points than I believe in base Medieval 2. We felt the roads would be more modern. Obviously not modern now, but these were road 200 years ago, so but obviously more modern than you would in the medieval times or the 1700s. So yeah, this is Gran Colombia. Now Gran Colombia and Brazil as well actually have events for taking some settlements. So essentially, where you'll get, say if you play as Spain, you have an event where Bolivar takes like Cartagena or Medellin, sorry, straight away, or Panama City straight away, or something like that. So that's and Brazil obviously will have the same as well. There's also a thing called the Venezuelan Uprising, which I believe happens for when you play as Spain. I think you get Gran Colombia gets it as well. Obviously that's something you can play through and experience yourselves. So yeah. Another thing is there's a Latin conference at turn 9 or 10. Which sort of, I'm not too sure. I've never played to the Latin conference. Well, I have, but I haven't actually experienced the event. So I'll leave that bit conspicuous for you guys to check out yourselves. But essentially, the Latin conference will affect all Latin American powers. Okay, welcome to Spain. Now, as I mentioned before, Spain is the most hardest faction in the game. I would say. I say most because that's my personal opinion. Your opinion may differ, or it may be a little bit different. But as you can see, public order is a massive problem as the Spanish Empire. And it's something you'll have to put up with the entire campaign. We have obviously made Spain a hard faction. They are not to be played for fun at all. So they are played for people that want to have like a really tough time. So yeah, as you see, we have teachers as well. We've got a nice little model for them as well. He's going to teach the sheep a lesson and teach them more about the academy. The academy. Teach him more about education, I guess. So obviously teachers are vital in helping out public order. And so obviously that will help rather than just... obviously it makes a lot more sense than just priests, because religion in this time was, I would say, faltering, sort of, I guess. I mean, there's still religious nut jobs now, but obviously there weren't many priests in South America. So yeah, that is Spain. Now Spain doesn't have too much, because obviously the Spanish Empire is completely on the verge of collapse, pretty much. And I have been doing the playtest on them. I've had a lot of fun with Spain. It's been one of my favourite factions so far. So yes, that is essentially it for Spain. Now Spain actually has a, oh I forgot to mention, has a stock collapse, which is historically accurate. And where the Spanish Empire's stocks completely collapse, the stock market crashes, and you have this thing called national debt. So as you can see, we're making $4 grand a turn. That will all change. Once the stock crash comes in at turn 6, your thing will turn to minus like 2,000 or minus 5. I feel like I made his music a bit too loud, but that's okay. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, but yeah. The music itself is excellent, and it's something, you know, obviously it's something that must be praised at all costs. But yeah, that is it for Spain. I hope you've liked Spain. We will obviously Again, not for the faint-hearted, so prepare to die a lot. Oh yes, that reminds me, this is also the makeshift cannon I was talking about, which is the, I say standard, it's only one you can recruit straight away in Spain, so I thought I'd just add that in. Oh, sorry about that, I completely forgot. San Carlos Fault Lines is a thing. It's also the part of the same region as the Antarctic Island as well. You also hold this little bit. Okay, next we have Chile, which obviously starts off at war with Spain straight away. Now Chile is obviously, you know, having an independence war against Spain. Obviously, historically, they do eventually win. Yes. Now, what I like about Chile is obviously the starting position starts just by where the Mapuche is. So you could either expand it against them very quickly, if you wanted to, or get peace with Mapuche, or move north just to fight with Spain. You don't start... I do like factions that start in the corner of places, and not like smack back in the middle. Smack? What? Just faction that start in the middle of stuff. You sort of like surrounding all sides. It's sort of a bit overwhelming. But yeah, that is Chile. Oh yes, it reminds me, the Farmer Spears. Now this unit is something that I would advise to be used as a garrison. So as you can see, the morale is terrible, and defense and attack is again terrible. So make sure to use them for garrison. Don't really. I would never recommend using them as an actual unit in the battlefield because they will die instantly. So yeah, that is Chile. Okay, Paraguay. Now Paraguay, kind of small, not massive, not a massive faction. Quite a few generals spread about. And yeah, that's pretty much it from Paraguay. There's not too much I can talk to you about. Oh, I will tell you the diplomacy for each faction as well. As I'm sure a lot of you guys may think, oh, I want to play this faction, but you won't realise who you're at war with when you start. Obviously, you can read the description. That's up to you. Well, a lot of people I know just tend to ignore the description, just go straight to the campaign. I'm a person that does that quite a few times. Paraguay starts off a war with Spain. Spain, as you can see, starts off a war with us and Gran Colombia and Chile. Primitive tribes, obviously, everyone starts off a war with them. Portugal starts off a war with Brazil. Now, the Brazilian Empire, the Brazilian Revolution, doesn't happen straight away. We wanted to put Brazil straight away like this, just so Brazil's a playable faction, people can actually experience the fun as them. Britain, the Dutch, and the French start off neutral with each other, and neutral with everyone. Gran Colombia, Spain, as I mentioned. The Liga Federal starts off at war with the La Plata, so that's a war straight away. And you got the Mapuche starts off at war with nobody at all. So that is Paraguay. Okay, welcome to La Plata. Now La Plata has an interesting event with the Mapuche because they do border them and have this thing called the skirmishes on the native border. Now, as you can see, natives obviously getting close to the border and have a few, and obviously war is close. Now, if you give the Mapuche money, say 1,000 reals, and obviously you will give more as time goes on, it will be a 10%. There's a more chance they won't attack. But if you don't give them money straight away, there is a 10% increased chance that they will attack. So it is possible that they may just attack you anyway, but I believe we put some stuff in just to make sure it doesn't happen too much. As you can see, we have another President Jose. There's quite a lot of them around. And as you can see, if you decline, you will have a 10% chance of war. So obviously 10% isn't exactly a lot. However, it is still a chance for the worst. But La Plata obviously starts with quite large down here. A few issues with public order, nothing that can't be fixed with lowering the taxes at all. So a lot of things with Spain is that you can lower the taxes and sort of eliminates any problem you're with the public order. But some places you just can't hold for the sake of it. Anyway. Now also, La Plata actually is a faction that Celtic Warband did a stream on as well. So a lot of you probably have seen that stream with Celtic Warband, of course. Okay, now we have the Dutch. Now the Dutch only start with one settlement. Not too much I can say about them. Really, I'm afraid. Obviously, I would love to spend ages talking. However, we are actually doing, I believe, faction similar to something Arakir does. Where he does like faction law on like Gondor or Dol Amaroth. We're going to be doing a friend Hazza, who is one of the developers, is going to be doing guides on each faction. Now, not guides, I think just like overviews of talking about each faction. So that'd be quite nice. So it's something you can look forward to, and something you can, he can obviously give you a little bit more detail than I can. All right, next on the list we have Brazil. Now Brazil starts off with one settlement, and because in turn 10, the Brazilian Revolution fully kicks off. And as I mentioned before, you get some events where they actually take settlements straight away, which is obviously showing that the settlements are rebelling against Portuguese control. And you will also get spawned armies as well as Brazil to obviously assist you in your revolution. Now, Brazil starts quite far away, so they're not in the immediate vicinity of any army. So no army can come over and just kill Brazil straight away, because that would be very anticlimactic. And we obviously put that in to make sure that doesn't happen, because otherwise it will suck. Obviously got the Emperor of Brazil artillery as well, and he's obviously quite a chivalrous man, good commander as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Brazil. Again, not too much I can show you. Obviously, I'll leave that for you guys to check out when you play Brazil. Okay, welcome to the final faction in this preview, Portugal. Now, as you can see, Portugal starts off a little bit similar to Spain, where they have really bad public order, and obviously quite a spread out empire as well, and obviously hold threats with some of the European powers up here. Brazil, of course, most notably, and threats from Paraguay, La Plata, and Spain, and probably La Liga Federal. Yeah, because they do border them. Now, Brazil obviously have their own stuff. You can see they got building and stuff. They're all very nice to see. Now, obviously over here have more buildings, so I'll be able to show them off a little bit more. So we've got. Now, you will recognise a few from the Europe campaign. Some we felt would make more use over here, and then we obviously it's quite hard to find a lot of pictures, I will be honest. So obviously that will help out us a little bit more, and we felt just use it again. It felt fine. Small colony, actually a picture of Bolivar I found there, and I thought that would be quite nice for a colony hall. Obviously, you think it would suit the Latin American faction a bit more than the European, but it's all the same. So yeah, that's them. Now, Portugal starts off quite a few disloyal commanders. Obviously, historically accurate, the Portuguese, the Portuguese leaders and stuff aren't too keen with Portuguese rule. A lot of people want independence, as you might imagine. So yeah, Portugal obviously is very big but very far from secure. But I do look at like the starting position of Portugal, and they're quite. As Portugal, you can hold back because you're not too spread out. As Spain, you're sort of spread out from all the way down here. Then you got settlements over there you can't defend. And Portugal, you are sort of condensed. However, your borders, you've got Brazil in there, completely in the way. Okay, that is probably the end of this preview. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys give Bolivars a shot. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing it, a lot of fun working on it, and I'm very proud of what me and the team have accomplished. Now, this is actually the Spanish Stock Exchange I've mentioned. So, yeah, that's the economic thing that kicks in around turn 6, on turn 6. And yeah, obviously you have quite a few. We've really worked on our events, and I'm very happy with what we've done. Done such a great job, and yeah. But yeah, that's we've also actually another thing is the ships have been called naval divisions, which I believe you've sort of got the idea from Hearts of Iron 4, which is kind of nice. I kind of like that. Yes. Okay, that is it for this preview. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please give Bolivars a go. It is a lot of fun, and I promise you will not regret it. We've also given an update to 2.6 as well. Well, an update to 2.5, which is now called 2.6 for the Europe campaign, just to put up the standards with Bolivars a bit more, and obviously make that a lot of fun. Please let us all know how you're finding Bolivars, if you're enjoying it. You think there's anything you'd like to suggest, anything we should add, then do let us know. Anyway, that is all for now. I will see you later.